So the Internet of Things is connecting you to the New World Order in smart cities. And as you'll see in this video, the Internet of Things is without question going to involve FRID chips. Everything will be tracked. If you don't accept this chip, if you won't accept this system and plug into the system through a implantable chip, then you will basically a homeless person will be better off than you. Think about it. If a homeless person's willing to be chipped, they're going to be part of the matrix. But anybody that does not accept this chip will be outside the matrix. In fact, the world will look at them as an outsider. And we know that for the most part, most Americans and most of the world population are going to receive this chip gladly, and already have begun to receive this chip. But I don't think a lot of people understand that this chip, without question, has to do with the what the Bible speaks of, the mark of the beast. If you look up this word mark in the original Greek in the book of Revelation, the word mark means to prick the skin. And you receive in your right hand or your forehead. Without question, this has to do with the chip. Now, I used to wonder, Lord, how are they going to make people take this chip? Well, they're not going to make anybody take the chip. The world wants the chip. Listen, folks, the world wants the chip. Just as I told you the other day, they want to worship the image of the beast. No one's going to have to force them to do it. It's going to be those that will not accept this system, this beast system, that are going to be considered outsiders. And eventually the pressure will get so great that if you won't accept the mark or worship the beast, that you will be beheaded. Now, without question, the beast has to do with the Internet of Things, has to do with smart cities. They're using this word smart a lot. And this word smart has to do with everything today. Your smartphones, smart meters, smart cities, smart cars, on and on. And the Internet of Things, IOT in abbreviation, is going to bring everything together, folks. Understand, everything will be connected. From your wash machine to your car, to everything will be interconnected with your smartphone and with your computer, with your, everything will be connected. So eventually you will not be able to live in society without living within the Internet of Things, which I call the beast. Without question, it is the beast. And these, as I was showing you about the HoloLens, without question, that'll be part of the system as well. In fact, I think before it's over, they're going to move the HoloLens into something closer towards the Google Lens, to where people can actually will be able to do these things with a Google Lens versus without. They won't need the HoloLens to do it. They'll be able to do it with the Google Lens type of everybody will be walking around with something like that. Eventually, more than likely, they'll have something that can actually be implanted into your eye, some kind of a contact lens or something. But folks, understand, all of this is being done with this in mind. It's going to make things simpler. It's going to simplify your life. It's going to make it more convenient for you. More cool, more fun. Can you just imagine if your whole life was connected together so that you could run everything from your smartphone? Well, folks, listen. If you look up the word smart, you will find out it's not very smart at all. The word smart means to be ill, or it means to be hurt. It actually means to hurt. Did you know that to wink the eye means to cause pain or to cause ill to somebody? Did you know that? And we see the winking of the eye a lot. And it also means to be froward. When you see someone winking their eye all the time at people, that's frowardness. And what you need to understand is that that's what the beast is doing in this hour. He's winking his eye at the world, saying, "Are you on board? Are you with me on this? Are you with me?" And folks, listen, if you are not privy to the Word of God and understanding the truth of God's Word, if you don't understand divine truth, many are going to be deceived in this hour, and there's going to be a great falling away, more than I think we've already seen. And I believe with all my heart that even those today that are not on board with this beast system, even they will start to be pulled in. Even they will start to get sucked in. I remember the first time I turned on the internet back when they had dial-up. You remember those days? When the neatest thing was where you could actually get rid of that sound of the dial-up tone. You thought you really had advanced, right? When you were able to mute that sound. Well, listen, I remember the first time plugging in the computer, and I remember the feeling that went through my body as I plugged into. It was almost as if I was being plugged in. It wasn't that I was plugging that computer in the wall. It was me being plugged in. And that's what they want to do. That's what Satan wants to do. He wants you to plug in to not into the energy as far as what powers your computer, but the energy of his spirit. See, Satan is a spirit. He's the prince and power of the air. You understand what I'm saying to you? He wants you to plug in to the energy. That's the key word. You keep hearing that word all the time. You hear it in the music industry. You hear it in the movie industry. You hear it all the time, constantly hearing the energy, the energy, the energy. Well, what you don't realize is that Satan, the spirit of Satan, the energy that's behind the internet, that's behind the beast, that's bringing all this together and causing IBM and the smart chip and Cisco and all these different companies all working together to bring this about. I just recently noticed that two companies that really never liked each other, they were always against each other. Now they're becoming friends, it seems, overnight to bring about this this Internet of Things. And that's IBM and what I guess they consider their sister now, is this other company, is Oracle. So you have IBM, Oracle, and you have the smart chip. All these companies working together right now. And maybe you didn't know this, but IBM was strategic in the keeping track of all the Nazi workings and interworkings with the Jews and the Holocaust. IBM, in fact, they couldn't have done what they did without IBM. And you may not know this, is Coca-Cola actually supported Hitler and actually provided Coca-Cola to the Nazi Germany while they were killing Jews. And on and on. There were several corporations that were contributing. But my point is that corporations have always been a part of the bigger scheme of things and even willing to bring in this New World Order. You can't tell me that the corporations are not bringing this New World Order in. Understand that when we have traded the republic for democracy, if you look up what a democracy is, you'll find that a democracy has nothing to do with the republic. They're totally contrary. Republic is by the people, and a democracy is the corporates. The corporates are in control, the corporate vote. And understand, it's the corporations that are filthy, money-hungry criminals that want to bring about this New World Order because they're greedy. It's all about greed. And that's who Obama is looking out for right now, is corporate. It's all about corporate. He says that he's looking out for the middle class people and the poor, and that he's trying to rob from the rich. No, what he's trying to do is destroy the rich so that all that's left is the 1%, because that's all he's concerned with, is that 1%. But understand, folks, all of this is being brought together by corporate. It's all corporations, and that's the pyramid. And they'll let you be a slave at the bottom of the pyramid if you want to be. And that's what these pyramid schemes are all about. That's why even Donald Trump likes the pyramid schemes. And if you notice, a lot of companies today are joining the pyramid schemes. Right now, you can join a pyramid scheme, pyramid system, and what they call network marketing, where all the major corporations now are selling their products together in one big organization, where you can just go and you can sell products from everywhere, and it's all interconnected. And then you have co-ops that are working together. What are they doing? They're bringing all the world together. All the corporations are coming together, becoming one conglomerate, so that everybody and all the corporates are making money hand over fist. And those corporate organizations are in bed with the banks. You got to understand, that's why Donald Trump, they couldn't destroy him. That's why he could not be destroyed. In fact, they said he was too big to fail. What does that mean? That means the banks realized if Donald Trump and what he was able to do was to fail, then the banks that were providing him money and that were giving him loans, that they would fail along with him, because they realized, like he said, I'm too big to fail. Understand, folks, what's going on here. It's big corporations and banks. It's an international banking system, a new world order. It's, like I like to say, it's a bunch of big boys in their big boy pants. All right? That's what it's all about, and it's a big boys club. They're not men, because a real man wouldn't do what they do. A real man would sacrifice his own life, even as Jesus did, and for the sake of others. No, these are not men. These are boys, little boys with big boys pants on, okay? And they don't know what it is to be a real man. They don't know what it is to be a gentleman. They don't know what it is to sacrifice. All they know is greed, selfishness, and cutthroat, destroy, step on people to get to the top. They don't care about you. And a good example is Kevin O'Leary on Shark Tank. When he calls people cockroaches, he means that. He's not mincing words. People think he's just being funny. He's not being funny at all. He is very serious. He's not mincing words when he calls people a cockroach. He says, the cockroach that you are. That's the way they look at you. They look at you as a bug, a cockroach, to be squashed. Are you listening? And if they don't have value for you, then there's no guilt involved when they exterminate you, when they get rid of you. So like I said, if you're not willing to be on board in this New World Order, if you're not willing to be on board with this smart cities and the smart system they're setting up, then you're going to be worse off than the poor, than the beggar on the street. Because even the homeless are going to be willing to be chipped. Even they're going to be willing to receive a mark. And they're going to be better off. The soup kitchens will continue to feed them. They'll continue to be fed. But you that don't receive that chip, don't receive that mark, you're going to be outside the matrix. And when people see you and notice that you don't have a chip, you're going to be an outcast. And eventually you'll become an enemy of the state. You will actually become an enemy to their new world. And that's why it's called a new world order, because it's new. It's the new world where everything is done within the matrix, where it's all done within inside of this conglomerate. I was thinking of that word, it starts with an M. It was a word that Kennedy used when he gave that speech about secret societies. Monolithic. This is a monolithic program that involves all the corporations and the banks, and it's a big idea. Just like Bush Sr. said, what's at stake is more than just a small country. It's a big idea. Bringing a whole world together, folks, in one beast system. One system. A world government, world money system, and it won't be a religion like you might think. It's going to be worshiping the beast in the image of the beast. And we have some idea now at this point what that means, what it means to the worship of the beast. But you can see here in the video how they're going to connect everything. See the apps, see the smartphones, see here how it all interconnects, and see the cloud. See the cloud here, real-time services. Everything's going to connect to the cloud. See, everything connects through the cloud. Eventually, you won't be able to have a smartphone or a computer or an iPad or some kind of a tablet that will work on a hard drive. There'll be no more where you can have a chip. Everything that where you connect with other things will have to be through the cloud. It'll all have to be through the network. And I think that's why there's a big push right now, the FCC, in all this, what they're doing right now, trying to bring in net neutrality. I think it is the bigger idea here is to make it so that the flow of data cannot be manipulated, because they want a constant flow where everybody gets the same flow because of this Internet of Things. In order to have this Internet of Things and for everything to work, then there has to be they need to, in some sort, they need to open up the floodgates. They need to be able, and they called it, I saw a write-up on this, they said they're getting ready to open the fire hose. Google is getting ready to open up the fire hose and allow Twitter to get into the search engines and such. And so this is exactly what's happening with this Internet of Things, is that they're opening wide the broadband and data from, maybe the size of a, what's a good example? The size of a straw, okay, in comparison, to the size of a fire hose. And then from a size of a fire hose to the size of maybe the way you might see where oil is transported through oil pipes, oil pipeline. So understand, that's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to make the internet flow. They're wanting to make the everything be able to flow in a more, how do I want to say it, more powerful, I guess, so that, going from a 4G to 5G and 5, and just on up. They want to bring, I think eventually they want to get everybody the power, maybe a T1. I don't know what their ultimate goal is, but I do know this. I was just speaking with a gentleman that works for AT&T, and he told me the plan is to push everything to fiber optics. He said everything when they're done will be switched over to fiber optics. He said there's a big push right now in AT&T to switch all wires. Everything will go over to fiber optics. Why are they doing that? They're getting ready. They're putting together this Internet of Things. They're putting together these smart cities. Everything will be tracked. Everything will be, not only that, but everything will be based on algorithms, so that it's based on the overall average. So you'll just become a number. When they look at a city, they won't be looking at individual people anymore. They're going to be looking at cities versus other cities and such. That's how they're going to begin to what they call controlling the climate, or being able to, make things better as far as carbon and things like that. Folks, understand that everything they're doing is for control. New World Control. That's what order means. New world control. That's what they want. They want control. They want to know what you're looking at on your smartphone. They want to know where you're driving to. They want to know everything about you. Okay? In a lot of ways, they're narcissists. I mean, they are so bent and so on power that they just don't have any peace unless they know what you're doing. That's how controlling that they are. That they've got to know what everybody's doing at all the time. You know, I think it's the next level from when you have all the money in the world and then you have everything you ever wanted. And what's the next step, right? Well, what is it? To play God, right? And we're seeing it in the movies. These movies that are coming out where the children are killing one another. I mean, that's without question inspired by the Illuminati. There's no question in my mind that's inspired by the Illuminati. I know it is. It's got to be. So I wanted to share this with you because, folks, I believe that there is a acceleration in place right now. And right now, they're all pushing, working together. And it's happening quicker, it seems, in India right now, in Mexico, and other countries, quicker than it's happening in the United States, these smart cities. Everything is going to be interconnected. And you may say, well, what's your problem? That sounds great. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everything was interconnected and I could control everything from my smartphone if I wanted to check on this and that, or if I wanted to reserve a parking place in the garage in the city before I go to the show, I can reserve my parking place, or if I'm not using that parking place and I've reserved it, I can transfer it to somebody else and make money off that parking place. Folks, listen, when they get this thing set up, it's going to be sellable. People are going to want it because without question, there's going to be money to be made. There's going to be profit involved, and it won't be just the corporations profiting. They're going to make you think you're profiting. Just like in these pyramid schemes, these network marketing, they make you think you're making a lot of money when they give you free cars and they give you all these things when you make X amount of dollars. But you don't realize at the top of the pyramid or further up the ladder how much money they're making. They're laughing at you and saying, you think you're making a lot of money? You should see what we're making. And then on and on and on, up the ladder, up the ladder. And then they basically just want to get you comfortable. Once you're comfortable and you're not envious of what they have, then they're happy because now they've got you in a place where you're happy and you're content where you are and you're not eyeing them anymore. Now you're willing to work with them and even help them push the cart up the hill, and then you can all ride it down at the end together. No, only the 1% are going to ride it down at the end, folks. Understand, they are in the process of completely getting rid of the middle class and the poor off this earth. They don't want what they call the cockroaches, the bugs. Now, they're going to keep some slaves around. They're going to have some servants, and that's only if they can't come up with robots to take their place. Welcome to the new age. Welcome to the new world order, the Internet of Things. One big brain. And connecting you into that brain, the brainchild, connecting you into the new world order, connecting you into this mega mind, this conglomerate, folks. I mean, I don't know why people want to do this. I don't know why people would want to plug into this. Only thing I can think of is that you don't realize what you're plugging into. You don't really grasp it. You don't see where this thing is going. They already gave you a number. The United States, you're not a person. You're a number. You've always been just a number. Go look at the number on your birth certificate. That number is being traded on the stock exchange. You're an asset to them. Folks, please understand the truth. They don't care about you. At the end of the day, you're just an asset. That's all you are, and that's all you'll ever be. They look at your net value. They look at your net worth. Right now, if you go on the internet, look up the net worth of anybody that's in Hollywood and whatnot, and you can see how much, that's all they care about. What is this person worth? Now, there's other areas where they look at your worth. They look how much wisdom or how much intelligence do they have? Are they smart? There's that word smart again. Are they smart? Is this person smart? Wait a minute. Folks, do you understand? The word smart means ill. It means sick. It means hurt. Is this person smart? What do they mean? Is this person willing to play ball? Is this person willing to plug in? Is this person willing to go along with our plan? Are they smart? Are they willing to kill? Are they willing to report someone that's not following the plan? Are they smart? Are you going to be one of their informants? Are you going to be one of their assets like the CIA? The world will be full of assets. That's what it's going to be when they're all done. The CIA controls the government. It's not the other way around. It's the CIA, folks. It's always been the CIA. The Pentagon. The pyramid. It's always been the CIA. In fact, George Bush Sr. didn't even want to be the President of the United States. He had more power as the director of CIA. They had to offer him something really good to get him out of that position. He loved the position of the director of the CIA. Well, you thought George Bush Jr. was running the White House. No, he wasn't. Cheney was. Cheney was. Folks, understand what's going on here. It's the industrial complex. It's those that are in control of weapons of mass destruction. That's who's calling the shots. It's got nothing to do with the puppets in the White House. George Bush Jr. he was just a puppet. Obama's just a puppet. These are puppets. The real ones that are running the show are in the CIA. And they have what's called informants. They have assets. And when they're done with their asset, they execute them. They kill them. And it seems like they do everything they can to put out Hollywood and television shows making you want to be one of their assets. Oh, I want to be in the CIA. But when you watch these programs and you realize that they'll go after their own informants, or they'll do what's called a burn notice, and they'll get rid of you or make you look bad, and that's what they're turning you into, an asset. And if you don't go along with the plan, and if they want to set you up, they'll set you up, and they'll get rid of you. It's cutthroat, folks. If you're not valuable to them, they're not going to keep you. The only reason that they're going to keep you is if you have some value to them, period. And whatever level of value that is where you will find yourself in the New World Order. Well, I'm glad the Lord Jesus Christ doesn't value people that way. He said, the least among you shall be greater than even John the Baptist. Jesus doesn't value us in the way that the world values, in the way that the devil values, the way that the beast values. I'm glad that the Lord Jesus Christ placed his value on my life when he went to Calvary. When he shed his blood. By shedding his blood and giving his life, he revealed to me how much he loves me, how much value is on my life. And he didn't die on that cross so that he could control me throughout eternity. He died on that cross so I could live and reign and rule with him in his throne. Folks, right beside God in the highest position. Do you know there's only the 1% of the 1% are going to be in that position next to Satan, next to the beast, next to Lucifer. You're not going to be reigning up in the position that you see Katy Perry today in her music videos where she's rising to the top of the pyramid. That's a joke. Do you think they're going to allow Katy Perry to come to that position? They're lying to her. She's expendable, people. until the next pop star comes that's better than her, and then they'll get rid of her. Just like they got rid of Michael Jackson when he was not willing to play along with Sony. When he spoke out against Sony, they got rid of Michael Jackson. He was killed just a few days later, just a little while later, after he spoke out against Sony. Why'd they get rid of Whitney Houston? Why did they program her to kill herself? And now her own daughter's tried to kill herself. Folks, wake up and realize what's going on. If they don't want you around, you won't be around. It's that simple. You're just an asset to them. You are just in the plan or the scheme of things. And you're expendable.